There's something deeply nostalgic about an old British locomotive. For decades, these iron giants helped shape the United Kingdom, connecting cities, towns and rural areas, transporting passengers and goods across the country. But like all things, their time eventually comes to an end. When it does, these once mighty machines are left to rest in train graveyards, where they quietly fade from memory. These train graveyards, or locomotive cemeteries, can still be found across the UK. They are home to forgotten engines from a bygone era, machines that once powered Britain's railways, but now sit in silence, their steel bodies slowly rusting away, overtaken by time and nature. So, what happens to a locomotive when it's no longer needed on Britain's railways? Many are decommissioned and scrapped, while others find a final resting place in these train graveyards. Some engines wait here in the hopes of restoration, while others are left to deteriorate, a shadow of their former glory. One of the most well-known sites in the UK is the Barry Scrapyard in South Wales. Once a bustling graveyard for steam engines, it became a symbol of hope for rail enthusiasts. At its peak, over 200 steam locomotives stood there, waiting to be scrapped. But instead of being completely dismantled, many of these engines were saved by preservation societies. Barry Scrapyard became the unlikely birthplace of the UK's railway preservation movement, with countless engines restored and returned to the rails by passionate volunteers. Yet, many locomotives weren't as fortunate. All across the country, from overgrown sidings to disused depots, trains that once roared along the rails now sit in silence. These forgotten machines are a haunting reminder of Britain's transition from steam to modern electric and diesel-powered railways. Another poignant example is the Long Marston Rail Storage Site, which has housed countless carriages and engines awaiting their fate. Some trains here are retired rolling stock, no longer needed by the UK's modern rail network. Others are waiting to be sold, scrapped, or occasionally even repurposed. The site serves as a resting place for engines and carriages that once carried millions of passengers, now abandoned and forgotten by most. These railway graveyards are time capsules, capturing a moment in the history of British transport. For train enthusiasts, they offer a rare opportunity to connect with the past, a chance to stand among the remnants of the great age of steam and early diesel. For others, they can evoke a sense of loss, as these once powerful engines now decay, symbols of progress overtaken by the relentless march of time. Each abandoned engine tells a story of the Industrial Revolution, of expansion, and of the rise of British railways. But it's also a story of obsolescence. In a world that has moved on to faster, sleeker forms of transport, these giants of the past are left behind, merging with the landscape as they rust away. For many, trains evoke nostalgia, reminding us of the golden age of British rail, when steam ruled the tracks and the whistle of a locomotive echoed across the countryside. Today, in these graveyards, silence reigns. Time and nature have claimed what's left of these mighty machines, turning them into relics of the past. What is the fate of these forgotten giants? Some will be scrapped, their metal melted down and reused. Others may be restored and displayed in museums or private collections, their legacy preserved by enthusiasts. But for the rest, these train graveyards will be their final stop, an echo of a time when they were the pride of Britain's railways. In the end, even the mightiest engines must come to a stop, but here, in these quiet graveyards, they're never truly forgotten.